What's good, y'all? It's the messenger of God here, and I wanted to bring something to y'all today. And I'm gonna talk my way into the word, but I just wanted to kind of tell y'all a little bit more about me. And today I was talking about why, why, and it's something how you can talk about why, right? And you have a whole lot of questions and things like that. But as I was coming up, y'all, it was something, because it was brought to my attention how you can be a person that could be innocent, and then you don't start doing things until you get around other people, or until you start hanging out with other people, And like I said, it brought me what I'm about to tell you. It brought me all the way back when I asked why, to the innocence of a child that God said we must become. And anyways, so the reason why I said why is because I always wanted to know things. I was a person that always wanted to know why. Just like if someone was doing something wrong, I always wanted to sit that person down and say, why? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that, right? It's like that discussion that you want to have with a person, and you want to know why they do what they do, right? So as for me, it was kind of strange because I had a friend that was similar, that went with someone too that was like this. But I always look at why do we have people against one another, especially as far as race goes, because like I said, I love all race, and I mix with a lot of things, right? A lot of things you'd probably be surprised by if I told you. So one of my stories, I had recently told someone, and I told my mom, okay, because she was kind of shocked. And it was just like, I like I said, I went with different cultures. Matter of fact, I like hanging around different culture of people that was from different places. And because I liked it to learn like their language, I wanted to know the background, because I wanted to know more about myself, and I wanted to know about, different, heritage and stuff, and where they came from. And like I said, when I was coming up, I learned lolll, I learned, French, I learned, Tagalog, Filipino, I had friends like that. I had, Panamanian friends, Dominican friends, Cuban friends, Jamaican friends. I had a lot of different, like friends from different backgrounds. And, I also dated outside of my race, when I was younger. It was something, because it brought me to this story for a reason. And I remember dating this guy, and he was this white guy, may I say, and it was something because we met each other at a club, okay? And this was like back then, I said I was a lot, smaller, skinnier, whatever. I looked different, whatever the case might be, when I was doing all these things that I thought that I had to do to make myself look pretty. Okay, let's just go there. But, what I mean by that, I used to wear the contacts and everything too, y'all. I had real long hair, and I was skinnier, but, I used to do like, dye my hair and all kinds of stuff. So, now I can just throw on and go. So whatever. Anyways, I'm gonna get to the story. So I met this guy, and in a club, and he was so cool, he can dance and everything like that. But, like I said, we was talking to each other, so we was trying to get to know each other. I'm not gonna say his name because, I don't know if, I know some people may know who I'm talking about, so I won't say his name, and things like that, because it's over with, in the past, already said and done. So anywho, we start talking to one another, right? And as we did, he told me, so this came out of nowhere. We had a conversation. He was just like, he told me the reason why he couldn't take me to see his parents is because, they wasn't, they didn't like, different race people. I'll say it like that. And I was like, what? I'm like, why not? I'm like, I'm mixed with this. He said, yeah, but it's, the color of your skin is too dark. So many forms of fashion, even though I was like really, really bright skin, y'all. And I was just like, why? So I had this question. I was like, why? And it was just like, he was like, well, this is how I was raised. I was raised this way, and, I'm not allowed to do that. And if I did, speak to you or bring you around my family, he'll get disowned. And he was just like, but I like you so much. I want to be with you and everything like that. But I just can't bring you around my friends and family. And I was just like, oh my goodness. I was like, this is so disturbing. Because, back then, when you're younger, you really don't, kids and stuff don't really see these things. I was, kind of like in my, I was in my teens. I was still in my teens. So it was just like, you really don't understand that reason why. You just don't understand like why you can't, talk to your boyfriend or something like that. And you wonder like, why it doesn't have to be this way, and it's always, somebody's always like, you're taking, my this, you're taking my that. Why are you taking all the black men? Why are you taking all the white men? Why these people dating this people, dating that people? And I'm just thinking, you know what? It's just like right now how we're separated in the religion right now. It's something how we all have these titles and different things, and when we all are supposed to, be with one another and unify in the spirit of God, And like I said, I had these questions like, why this? Why that? Just like, just something simple. You want to ask people, why do they do wrong? Why do they do evil all the time? And I know during the conversation, I was just thinking, I was like, you know what? It's something when you come from a mother's womb, right? From a mother's womb. You got to think about this. That mother and father, you don't know what they have been or what they had done before they had you. But then yet, they had you, right? They got pregnant with you. And then it's like, how would you know what your mother and father have done when you're like a child that's just coming into this world that's pure, and haven't, experienced anything yet? That's why in the Bible, God said we had to become like a child, because like you're innocent. You don't know anything. You're pure, and then, I was trying to understand a lot of stuff because in my life, I'm telling you, I have been around people that were gothic. I did the black thing where the black nails, I still wear black nails, but it doesn't have anything to do with that. But I'm like, I used to try to wonder about all of these things. And then I try to wonder about, why do people do this and why do people do? I just had so many questions. That's why I'm so deep with God, because I want to understand these things. It's like some people do so many things without the understanding of it. You want a title, but you don't understand. I look at people that's of the darkness, and when I do, I see them and I say, why? Just like the way they look at us when we worship the Lord and they say, why, right? And I say, you know what? It's something how we almost do the same things, except we have different fathers, You said, I never seen Jesus before, but you never seen the devil before either. It's like you sit up here and you worship who you worship, and then you wonder why we worship who we worship. And I'm just like this, well, I'm worshiping God, and then we know that you worship and saying like, it's just like, what is going on here? We be arguing over so many things. And it's just like this, you know what? I'm the way that I am because I came out of darkness to understand the truth. And when you can come from out from underneath all of that, then you will see the truth. I told you, it's something how it's so easy to do wrong. It's just right there to kick a can or to hit somebody or to easily like knock something down and nothing happens. You just get away with doing like crazy, stupid stuff, right? But when you do something good, it's just like, oh my goodness, it's like, that was so hard for you to do. It's so hard to say, God bless you, or it's so hard to say, thank you. It's like the not the first nature of thing that you think of. When somebody gives you something, you should say thank you, when you see, you're welcome. Or it's just like, it's so hard for people to want to do the right thing and say the right things. It's just like as if it hurts them. That's why this world is of the darkness. It's of the darkness until you see the light, because something so simple as the light, you know what I mean? People are so afraid to come into it. You know, you feel so comfortable with what you're doing wrong. You know what I'm saying? You feel so comfortable with doing wrong because it's just like this. I felt like I done got away with this and I did this for so long. I don't know how to be right. And, you know, it's like I wanted to understand people of the darkness because I'm just like this. What is wrong with you? You know, I know there's a problem. I know you've been hurt before. And because there's so many things wrong, you're so used to it till you don't want to see the light of things, you know. I see them and I see them worshiping Satan, but then they go so far as putting splits in their tongues like a snake, or you know, painting their face, making horns on their head, doing. I told you, that's not how the devil looked, you know. So you're doing that to make yourself look like that for whatever reason that you wanted to do, because I told you he was a fallen angel. Why would the devil try to scare you if he wants you? You know, I told you he was spiffy, walking around like, you know, like, yeah, you know, I need to get this person to go with me. I need to get that person to go with me. So why do people make up these things as if people look like this? Like not people, but like the devil looks like this, you know, or they'll take, like, say a witch look like this with the top hat on and, you know, green face and a long nose with a little mole on it, you know. I'm just like, this doesn't make no sense. You know, you're just full of caca. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, man, some things are so hilarious to me, you know. And I'll be sitting up here just like this, you know. Well, where do you get this from? Who made these images up? Just like they did of Jesus. Who made these images up? And you know that's not him. You never seen him before, but then you guys got these pictures up of who you believe that's Jesus, and you worshiping it. That's why it's called an idol, because you see something and you believe it automatically. You don't have no discernment, you don't have no desire for the truth, but you just go with something that somebody says and tell you to go along with it. Like, did you even like search for yourself to find out if you know that Jesus was here, and then, you know, when he was on earth, you wasn't there, and you know that he's in spirit? We worship him in spirit and in truth, not in spirit and in the picture that you created of him. Okay? You don't know what he looks like. Okay? And he is not a woman. He is a man. Like, well, what is going on with this? Like, whoever comes up with these thoughts in their minds, it's what you. It's your thought in your mind, what you believe, what's evil and what's good, and why something that's good. You paint this picture of an illusion. You know, when the good is always hidden, it's like a diamond in the rough. It's hard to find. You know, because you have to do so many things to find it. You have to seek so much just to see it. You know what I mean? It's because it's something so precious. You know, and that's why he tells us we have to come like a child and become innocent. Let me read something for y'all. I was reading Matthew chapter 18. Let's go there. At the time, the disciples came up and asked Jesus, who then is really the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? And he called a little child to himself and put him in the midst of them and said, truly, I say to you, unless you repent, change, turn about, and become like little children, trusting, lowly, loving, forgiving, you can never enter the kingdom of heaven at all. At all. Verse 3, y'all. Verse 4. Whoever will humble himself, therefore, and become like this little child, trusting, lowly, loving, forgiving, is greatest in the kingdom of heaven. And whoever receives and accepts and welcomes one little child like this for my sake and in my name receives and accepts and welcomes me. Verse 6, but whoever causes one of these little ones who believe in and acknowledge and cleave to me to stumble and sin, that is, who entices him or hinders him in right conduct or thought, it will be better, more more expedient, expedient, if I said it wrong, and profitable, or adventurous. Adventurous. Sorry, y'all. For him to have, because I be so excited. I told you, I be wanting to hurry up and just get it all out. But I be having so much coming in my mind sometimes, y'all. I'm telling you. It's just like every word means something. Okay, let's keep going. For him, let me finish this out. Adventurous, for him to have a great millstone fastened around his neck and to be sunk in the depth of the sea. Okay, let me read the King James Version. But whoso shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hung about his neck, that he were drowned in the depths of the sea. Ain't that something? My goodness. Let's go all the way up to verse 9, okay? Let's go over here to King James. But I'm going to read the breakdown. Because the breakdown, it says a lot of stuff too. Woe to the world for such temptations to sin and influences to do wrong. See? It is necessary that temptations come, because he tells you. But woe to the person on whose account or by whom the temptation comes. He's just like this. You know what? Woe unto those who is tempted. Like, who is tempted to do all of these things? Because they're so hard to get through. You know? They are so hard to get through, y'all. I'm telling you right now. You just don't even know the devil's a lie. Because you see what? Let me tell you something. The devil will always try to tempt you. The devil will always try to get you to do something wrong. Like, don't you ever realize how sneaky or how, look, I'll be saying a lot of things that is so cowardice. Okay, and I say like this, you know what? Some people that does like the most evilest stuff is always be trying to hide. Just like the devil be hiding somewhere in the corner. They want to do something evil, but then they want to be behind closed doors, right? And then I'll be like this, oh, so why are you such a coward? You know, why are you such a coward? Why do you do things just the way that you are? And then people sometimes be tempted. It's just like this. You do not have to feel like you have to do what somebody else doing, okay? If somebody's out there, you know, fornicating or doing something, you know, you don't have to do it, okay? If somebody's trying to get you to go over here and do this and you know that you're married, you don't have to go and do it. Just don't go hang back over there at that house, right? Let's keep going. I only got two more verses. And if your hand or your foot causes you to stumble in sin, see, remember when I read this, y'all? Cut it off and throw it away from you. It is better and more profitable and wholesome for you to enter life maimed or lame than to have 2 hands or 2 feet and be thrown into everlasting fire. And if your eye causes you to stumble in sin, pluck it out and throw it away from you. It is better and more profitable and wholesome for you to enter life with only 1 eye than to have 2 eyes and to be thrown into the hell of fire. All right, y'all. I just had one to read those two, but I had one to tell y'all stuff because I'm just like, man, you know, I was always asking why, you know, why, you know, and it's so strange because, like I said, I have been, you know, in a lot of stuff with a lot of people, even though that never was me, but it seemed like it seems like the thing is, I was always trying to fit in a crowd or around a group of people that, you know, that was doing things it was never me, you know. It was never me, and I should have never done those things. You feel me? But I did anyway, you know, and it's something, because some of it was just because I wanted to know, you know. I wanted to know how it was and you know, learn about more cultures and what do they do. I think I was always one of the ones that wanted to know stuff, you know. Well, why do you worship this? Why do you do that? Why do you act this way? Why do you do that? You know, I know a lot of times we don't need to ask why, and we don't want to know why. But me, I always wanted to know, you know, because I love the Lord so much. And once I stepped out of what I was doing that was wrong, I began to see the light. Because like I said, you can't like be, it's like you can't be on that surface level with the Lord in the Holy Spirit if you haven't went through what he went through. That's why he gives us the word of God to show us through the word of the things that he went through. And even like I said, word by word, you know what, it tells you so much of what you're going to go through in life, you know. And it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard, but you know what? I'd rather to have a challenge. I'd rather to have a challenge in, you know, doing something hard, you know, and being right than to do something easy that's wrong. You see what I'm saying? Why fall for something that's so simple to do? You know? So simple, so easy to do. Don't you want to know what's on the other side? Don't you want to know, you know what happens? It just put in your mind, what happens if you do good? That's why I told you I always pray for my enemies, you know? And people say, why do you do that? Because I'm like God, you know what I mean? I want to be like God, not a God, okay? Or not God, but like him in the spirit and in truth, you know? How you going to sit up here and say, I only want to talk to these people, but I want to be like God in spirit and in truth, because that's how I worship him, you know? Don't get it twisted, okay? Don't get it twisted what I'm saying, because I'm saying I want to be like my Father and walk in his footsteps in the spirit and in truth, because I love him, and that's why I only want to do what he would do. You know, you got to put in your mind, if he showed you in the word that this is how he would do something, then that's how you should do it. You got to become innocent. That means you got to become pure, no spots, no blemish. That means you got to take in the good and the bad, you know. Like me, I ain't gonna sit up here and turn nobody away. And did he do that when he was on the mountain or out there in the ship? He talked to everybody that was out there, including he had people that was with him that was doing wrong too. Okay? He didn't sit up there and say, you know, I know this man right here, and he knew the whole time that this man right here is gonna betray him. He knew all the time this was gonna be like that and that was gonna be like that, but everybody got a role. But you're not Jesus, you know what I'm saying? You can't actually, you know, don't actually do that in real life, you know, as far as, you know, roll with somebody that you know that's gonna hurt you. You feel me? God gives us that discernment to know these things. He's showing you, you know, that if you know these things, get away from them. You feel me? If you know that this person is doing this and cheating on their wives and stuff, like he went through this as an example, so that way we would know how to walk right with him. Okay? And I'm not trying to confuse you, but I'm trying to let you know, you know, this is why I came with why. Because there was so many things that I was trying to do, and so many people I was trying to be around, you know. And it was just like, you know, everything that I think God created, you know, that I know God created is beautiful. You know, it's not supposed to be separated. You know what I'm saying? It's just like a lot of people start separating in life, how as life went on, you know. And it's just like we start seeing each other and separating, you know. I kept seeing like how the red and the blue was, you know. You got Democrats, Republicans, but they separate, you know. And I don't know too much about political things, but I see how they have the colors on one side. I see how the gangs are. They have red and blue and they separate. You see race, they separate. You see a lot of things are separated and like grouped up or in groups, you know, the poor and the rich, you know. You know, you it's always like something that's separated. And then it's just like the poor people, like I be wondering, like I want us to have a change, but then it's sad that we don't have a lot of resources. And then the people who have money, they don't want the poor people where the rich people are. It's just like it's so separated. That's why, because of how the way the world is, we have to worship him in spirit and in truth, you know, in the spirit. You know, we're going to all look different, but we're going to all look alike in the spirit. You know, I hope I made some sense out there to somebody. you know, but, you know, like I said, I know I was different. You know, I was always different from other people. That's why sometimes I didn't hang around a lot of people doing everything. I hung out with a lot of different people because I had a lot of different things that I liked or wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? I hang around, you know, some people I was hanging around when I was young. It was like nerds too, because, you know, I like smart people. I like people who like to learn things. I like people who like to fix things. I like people who like to know things. You know, it was just like, I just like the different things, y'all. You know, I never liked to like just one little thing or nothing like that. I used to always like study. You know, I was like a nerd, a geek, or whatever you want to call those people who like smart people. You know, I was thinking about today, you know, like I always do, and any other day. I'm like, you know, you want a man. Like, I was like, where's the man? The man's who like to fix stuff and build stuff. And, you know, I'd be like this, you know, you go find something to do. Go to Home Depot or Walmart. You know, if I ain't said this over there, I'm like, go get you a hammer and some nails and some wood, plywood, and go build something. Just hammer a nail into some wood or something. Go build a doghouse. You know, just do something constructive, you know. Do something manly. You ain't got to just sit up here all day or just, you know, play on the game, or don't sit up here all day and just sit on the couch and watch TV. Don't sit up here. Go be a man, you know. Okay, look, clue, knock on your forehead, clue. I brought you a tool chest, you know. Go put some tools in there. I got you a tool belt, you know. Go, you know, do something. You know, I brought you something manly to do so you can do something manly. Because we women, like I said, we're the nurturers. So here we are. We up here taking care of home and taking care of the kids. Don't be trying to take your baby mama or your wife to court and stuff like that. Because you say, you know what, I have money and you know what, and she don't wanna work and she don't wanna do nothing and stuff like that. Well, you know what, it takes two. She got to tell, you got to tell. It takes two to tango. And you know what? When y'all was living that single life and y'all was doing what y'all was doing, it was okay. But when there's a child in the picture, remind you, that child is going to need attention. So don't sit up there and act like she's giving the baby more attention when it took both of y'all to make that baby, okay? She got to put in work, okay? So therefore, you got to go put in work and go do the work, because who's going to take care of the baby? She got to take care of that baby. She got to nurse it. She got to feed it. She got to clean it and dress it all the time. And then you only probably get the baby like what? A few hours out of the time, unless you're the one that has the child and, you know, whatever that situation is, and the man has to take care of the baby. But as far as a woman taking care of a baby, I'm telling you, that's a lot of work. So if she said, I'm a housewife and I take care of all the kids, all, A-L-L, all the kids, please don't knock her and expect her to have like 101,000 like energy like on 10, you know, when you come and you want to just, you know, do something, you know. Won't you ask her if she needs some help or something like that? Because if she's getting everything together for the kids and you too, you can't complain about that woman, for real. Because you're gonna take this one time out and you're gonna jump, you know, after you done help make this baby and get pregnant, and then you're going to act like you can't wait. You know, same thing like if a woman is on her, you know, whatever like that, and then you want to act like you can't wait a few days to tango or whatever like that. It's something wrong with you. You know, you can pull it together. You can wait. You know, don't nobody want you to try to job something up, you know, in somewhere and it ain't ready yet. You know, just come on now. Be for real. Stop making up excuses to go out and do something. Because you know what? Like I was saying, it's just like this. Hey, you got the little neighbor, or you got the little neighbor or the little girl across the street or something like that. And, you know, you stand up there and she be coming outside all the time going, hey, Billy, you know, like that, you know, trying to get your attention. You just like, you know what? No, not right now. No, I am not finna do this. You know, I have a woman. I'm happily married. I got a wife. And, you know, she been trying to get your attention the whole time. I'm going to make it short but sweet. So then here you go, because I'm making up a scene. Here you go. your wife is going through it, or she's pregnant, or let's say she's on her cycle or something like that, and she's been trying to, this neighbor of yours or somebody across the street or some wherever down the road, been trying to get your attention for the longest, right? So then it's come one day where you just like, you know what, you get mad or something happens, or something goes on, and then you say, you know what, I'm just gonna go over here because, you know what, she been trying to get my attention anyway. My woman ain't showing me no attention, and, you know, I'm tired of this. You know, I want to be appreciated, whoop whoop. You know, I'm trying to, you know, trying to keep it together or whatever. And then look, here you go, big shot, and you go over there because you couldn't hold on a few days or whatever, and you go over there and you do something, okay? You go over there and do something, okay? And next thing you know, you done caught something. Okay, because look, you like, well, I didn't do this, you know, I just had oral, you know, I just did this and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm gonna say whatever I feel, because I'm gonna tell you exactly what be going on, and y'all make these mistakes going behind these little fast-tailed women out there, and you know what, you don't need to do it. I'm telling you to stay at home and stop falling for this, because, you know, y'all passing stuff around, and you don't see it. I didn't see no bump on, I didn't see no bump. Well, let me tell you something, okay? Because the bump could have been inside of her mouth, and you accept this mess from her, and she did that down to you, and then you go back home, and then you don't realize this, and then you have sex with your woman, and you passing it on to her, and then this is how it becomes something that's in her mouth, down your genitals, and then y'all forever passing stuff. That's why you can't just lay down with someone, okay? That's why you got to protect yourself, and don't feel bad. Men and women, do not feel bad. If you meet somebody, you get with somebody and stuff like that, and you don't know about it, do not feel ashamed or do not feel bad to be like, hey, let's go get tested. Let's go get checked out together. Okay? You go get your papers, I'll go get my papers. Because in these times right now, I'm just saying, you just don't, you never know. And you could be totally innocent, you know? And what if that person don't even know that they got something, you know, which they should. But I'm just saying, make sure y'all get that paperwork, okay? Make sure y'all get that paperwork and make sure everything look good on both ends before y'all have children or before y'all fornicate and stuff like that, because it's really serious, especially about this adultery, you know. I was reading, also, I wasn't going to bring this up yet because I hadn't really studied it yet, but I was looking up something and a word that was called, you know, I brought this before with eunuchs, okay? And you can read Matthew 19:4. I wasn't ready for this, but, you know, I guess since I'm going into it, why not? Matthew 19:4. And 19:4 says, and he answered and said unto them, have ye not read that he which made them at the beginning made them male and female, and said, for this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife, and they twain shall be one flesh, with a question mark. Okay? Make sure you always look at these words and stuff and how it's said in the question mark, because see, the disciples asked them, you know, the Pharisees came unto him in verse 3 and saying to him, is it lawful for a man to put away his wife for every cause? Okay? And let's see how it says over here in Amplify. And Pharisees came to him and put him to test by asking, is it lawful and right to dismiss and repudiate and divorce one's wife for any and every cause? Remind you, in the beginning, he said he made male and female. Okay? Let's go to verse 6. Wherefore they are no more twain, but one flesh. Okay? What therefore God has joined together, let not man put asunder, depart. You know, let not a man be depart. So it was telling me like this, you know, the word of God, you know, Holy Spirit was telling me like this. If I don't get it right, Lord, please forgive me, because, you know, with the eunuchs, I saw like this. Keep on reading though. Keep on reading all the way up to, you know what, let me read it. Verse 7, they say unto him, why did Moses then command to give a writing or divorcement to put her away? Because I was thinking too, like when it was saying that, I feel like he was telling you, I made male and female for one to be together, right? Just as I did in the beginning, I made Adam and Eve, and I made men to be with women and women to be with men, okay? In so many words, all right? And then he turns around and says this. When some people are saying like this, you're supposed to leave your mother and leave your father. And let me tell you this. When you become equally yoked with a person, okay? When you become equally yoked with, because first and foremost, you're not supposed to be, with someone that you're not equally yoked with, especially in marriage, because some people take marriage and just think, I'm gonna benefit from this, and I'm gonna marry them because they're my friend. I don't want to be alone, for the rest of my life. So at least me and my friend got married and stuff like that. So that way we can benefit from each other. But then, we don't really love you. You supposed to take these vows. I'm telling you, man, nobody be taking vows serious. When you marry somebody, you supposed to love them and in spirit and in truth too. You understand? Because y'all got to be equally yoked. Now, I know it's not I know when y'all came together, y'all both had different backgrounds, okay? Now, I know you're not going to understand this person. That person may not understand you. And there's some things that we got to work on, okay? As we come together, because we coming from different, backgrounds, from different places and stuff like that. But I'm still saying you supposed to be equally yoked. If you a person that's now and you understand the Lord now, like right now, if I done been through all the stuff that I've been through, I'm not finna sit up here and go and jump and just be with any old thing, knowing that I done changed my life around and I'm gonna get with this person and say, I'm gonna change them after I done changed my whole entire life, and then trying to get with somebody trying to pick up the pieces. No, I'm gonna try to find somebody that's along the lines of, they believe in God first and foremost. You don't want to be with a complete atheist, somebody who just do not believe, and then you trying to explain to them. I can be your friend and do that, but I'm finna be with somebody that believes in the Lord, and we can make it work from there. But, all this trying to piece together stuff, that doesn't mean leave your mother and father and then leave them completely without talking to them. Some people always think that means, don't let my mother and my father, be in my relationship. I'm supposed to have this relationship with my husband, and I'm supposed to listen to my wife. No, you're supposed to cleave together and equally yoke of where y'all supposed to be able to come to each other. But that doesn't mean totally separate from your mother and father in spirit and truth, because you're supposed to talk to them still. You still can call on them and ask them for advice, but you are supposed to you're supposed to talk with one another first. That means like you're gonna talk to your wife first and your husband first, before you do that. Like, let nobody from the outside come in between y'all two. But then again, how are you guys going to counseling and getting somebody to counsel you, if they don't even know you? Because basically all they doing is sitting up there listening to you and going about what you saying, and then trying to give you their opinion as well too. I'm pretty sure everybody, even that pastor, sometimes some people don't have all the answers to your questions in life. Sometimes, I'm not saying that none of these people are right, but what I'm saying is make sure that you seek the Lord, and make sure that you equally yoke with the person that you're with. Because I know a lot of times we go through things and we do try to get some help. But, my help coming from the Lord. You know what I mean? Don't think you can't talk to your parents and stuff. Because if I have a parent, that I know that's of the Lord and know of the Lord, I know I can go to them and ask them, questions and stuff like that. But always talk to your wife and your husband about things first before you jump up and do something or put people in your business. And there you have that. So it says, woe, verse 7. Oh, sorry, I'm in the wrong thing. Here we go. 19, verse number 12. It says, because he said unto them, all men cannot receive this saying. See, save they to whom it is given. So it's just like this. This is not for everybody. You know, a lot of times people say this message is not for everybody, but it's for those. It's just like, he that has an ear, let him hear. Those who need this. You know, all men cannot receive this saying, save they to whom it is given. For there are some eunuchs which were so born from their mother's womb, and there are some eunuchs which were made eunuchs of men, and there be eunuchs which have made themselves eunuchs for the kingdom of heaven's sake. He that is able to receive it, let him receive it. So there you have it right there, y'all. Sometimes, you know, you got to understand, you know, the word of God isn't for everybody. But check this out. I will say this. Eunuchs. Some were born that way, right? As it was saying. And some was made eunuchs. You know, like some people like say like the definition is just like somebody being castrated or being made castrated, you know what I'm saying, where they're not able to fornicate. And some say that they was born that way, right? And some, they choose to be celibate, you know, for the Lord. So some are going to be made celibate for the Lord, you know, without fornication, without marriage and stuff like that. So this is talking to like, this is using the word eunuchs, but in like 3 different ways as I see it in the word, because it's just like this. It's funny how some people say, I was born that way. But then you didn't read everything in that word to understand that if you're born that way, you have to take the rest of the word that comes along with it. Okay? That doesn't mean that you're born a certain kind of way and then, you know, take yourself and be, you know, and then get into this group of people and that they claim that they're born that way, but then they also believe in something else or want you to believe in something else when that's not a part of the word of what the word was saying. So you can't take the word and mix it with your lifestyle and then say, well, this is what it meant or this is the right way to go about it, because that is not the right way. You can't be born some kind of way, okay? Can't be born some kind of way and then use part of the word and then put your own little twist on it to make whatever it is that you're going through or think sound good. You feel me? So whoever that was for. And I didn't get a chance to put all that together. But like I said, I had the question why, you know, and it made me think of that from my lifestyle. Like I said, all the stuff that I was going through and the stuff that I wanted to learn about. Because like I said, I had wanted to learn about, you know, all kinds of stuff. Like when I heard about the rainbow, when I heard about the homosexuality, when I heard about, you know, single people, married people, all different races. I always wanted to know, because it was just like, I was innocent, but I wasn't innocent at the same time. You know, I can say that because, you know, I involved myself in things, maybe innocently because I didn't know, but I did because I wanted to know. You know, I wanted to go around, you know, these people to find out things, you know, to know things, to know what am I doing. You know, I may have gotten into this lifestyle, but I don't know much about it. So then I'll go and hang with other people that know about it, you know, or people that's experienced. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm over here living this lifestyle, I'm just like, okay, so where do they hang out? Where do they go? What do they do? You know, what do we do? You know, what are we supposed to do? We supposed to be like this, you know, where do they hang out at? You see what I'm saying? And then when you get into that crowd that's born that way or feel like they are, then you sometimes you can hang around people and stuff, and then you be like, you know what, you find out that you're not really like that. So then therefore I get to the point to where I say, you know what, I'm not like that either. You know, you don't check this box and put yourself into something that's really not you. So don't be afraid to disconnect yourself from something that's not you. Okay? Bottom line, if I had like a bottom line of what I'm saying, it's like, don't be afraid to disconnect from something that's not you. If you're not equally yoked and the lifestyle ain't you, or what you're doing is not right, you know, get away from it. You know, I know y'all see all this stuff that's going on. I hope you guys remember the vision I gave y'all. I hope y'all pay attention to every number, every word, everything that's going on. You know, please watch and pay attention with the Super Bowl and the next big events that we have going on, because, you know, like I said, I was trying to keep my eyes open on everything, all the numbers and everything that's coming up. I'm telling you, it's a lot. It's a lot, y'all. It's a lot. And I'm telling you, I can see the things unfolding, and it's right before our very eyes, y'all. You know, we basically could be in war, and you not even see it, or you not even know it. You know, that's why in the end it says it's going to be wars and rumors of wars, right? And, you know, so many things is going on. You know, I don't get on it a lot. All I do is kind of give you my visions or tell you things of it, or I'll speak on it or around it, but I can't really just like totally just speak on certain things or on it like in a way that I would want to speak on it. So therefore I give you like how I see it in the Holy Spirit, in the way of the Holy Spirit. Okay? I love y'all. Y'all take care of each other, and nobody told you that they love you. Remember that I do, and you beautiful just the way that you are. All right? Later.